Donald Trump is having a disastrous landing from his awful trip to Asia, where he accomplished nothing other than further weakening the United States of America. I'll just give you this example. The Trump regime is trying to announce, look, we did this great deal with China. They've agreed to buy 12 million metric tons of soybeans this season and 25 million tons per year for the next 3 years. China bought 27 metric tons of soybeans from U.S. farmers in 2024. So y'all sacrificed our semiconductor industry here and our intellectual property and classified secrets essentially to China so that they would agree to buy less soybeans per year based on your disastrous trade war against the world. That's literally the art of the worst deal imaginable. As Tim Miller puts it, I'm just trying to follow this trade negotiation. So Trump creates a shortage in bean sales with his stupid tariffs. So he flew to Asia to beg for a deal. Result, China gets advanced AI chips from the United States. We get 1 year of minerals and an agreement that they will take less of our soybeans than they were already doing in 2024. And it should also be noted that the access to their rare earths is on a year-to-year basis. So every year, the United States has to go to China to beg for rare earths. This is quite literally the worst deal imaginable. But Trump tries to cover it up by saying, hey, guess what, everybody? We've brought in trillions of dollars over the past 4 days. More trillions of dollars. It's pouring in. As our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, writes, and as you hear me say every day, can we have some proof of this at some point? Where are all these trillions that we just got this week? Here's what Donald Trump said on this disastrous landing. Play this clip.
So many successful meetings, and so many meetings great for our country with literally hundreds of billions, trillions of dollars have come into our country over the last 4 days, represented by this meeting. But trillions of dollars, where Toyota is going to build plants, $10 billion worth of plants. And, I could go over so many different companies coming in. They're pouring money into the United States. So beyond even this meeting, this was an unbelievable trip. And I hope you're glad you were a part of it. It was big.
And here's Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent going on Fox Business, and I'll put business in quotes with Maria Bartiromo, and he's like, I'm going to break some good news. I'm just going to throw out a bunch of numbers and hope that the people watching this are stupid and don't realize that China was buying more soybeans under Biden than the deal that Trump just agreed to. So you had China cut us off from rare earths and cut off the export market to soybeans, only for them to agree to purchase less soybeans per year and make the United States beg for rare earths, while the United States has to potentially give up its semiconductor technology. The worst deal imaginable. This is Besson. Play this clip.
Maria, one of the big parts of this agreement, and I'm going to break the news here on your story, is the massive amount of agriculture purchases that the Chinese are going to be doing in this agreement. So the Chinese have agreed to buy 12 million metric tons of soybeans during this season, right now, between now and the should be January. And then for the next 3 years, they're going to be buying a minimum of 25 million metric tons per annum for the next 3 years. What I would expect is, as President Trump did in 2020, after President Xi had agreed to the Phase 1 deal, he called him regularly and got him to buy more, and that number went up much higher. The other thing to realize is, in addition to the 12 this year, the 25 per year, 25 million tons per year for the next 3 years. We've also signed trade deals with countries in Southeast Asia, the rest of the world, to buy our soybeans to the tune of another 19 million metric tons. So, our great soybean farmers, who the Chinese used as political pawns, that's off the table, and they should prosper in the years to come. They backed President Trump and they knew that he had their back, and this deal is the culmination of that, and it sets in motion great purchase agreements for the next 3.5 years.
So Donald Trump's very angry. He's angry that people are criticizing him. He posts, worked really hard 24/7, took in trillions of dollars. And Chuck Schumer said trip was a total dud, even though he knows it was a spectacular success. Words like that are almost treasonous. Okay, where are the trillions of dollars? What I do know right now is that y'all are saying that you don't have enough money to fund the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, so 42 million Americans are about to starve next week. You say you don't have enough money for health care. 20 million Americans are about to lose their health care, and they'll be getting their letters that their monthly premiums are about to skyrocket. So tell me, you don't have the money, but you brought in trillions of dollars? So either you're stealing the trillions of dollars, or you're lying. I believe you're stealing billions of dollars, in my opinion, not trillions, but I think you're lying. As Senator Chris Coons on Capitol Hill just said, I'm alarmed by reports that Trump is now considering allowing NVIDIA to sell China their most advanced chip. It's called the Blackwell. It's 20 times more powerful than the chips he's recently allowed access to. The defining fight of the 21st century will be who controls AI. It would be a strategic mistake for Trump in order to get some soybeans out of China to sell them these critical cutting-edge AI chips. The art of the deal. But Donald Trump's already given China access to a lot of our advanced chips via the United Arab Emirates, and apparently there was a quid pro quo deal, although Trump claims it's just a coincidence that the UAE Sovereign Wealth Fund invested in World Liberty Financial that my family controls a majority stake in and put $2 billion there. Then we gave them the chips. Two totally unrelated events.
You ever scroll the headlines and feel like every push alert just raised your blood pressure? Yeah, same. That's where IndaCloud comes in. I'm honestly excited about this one. IndaCloud is hands down one of the most fun advertisers we have ever worked with. It's a fully legal online dispensary, no cards, no sketchy runs, no mystery gummies from your friend's cousin. They've already delivered over 10 million gummies, mountains of flour, and enough pre-rolls to get through another election season, and everything is tested in DEA certified labs and shipped discreetly right to your door. The first time I tried IndaCloud, it wasn't like some big crazy night out. It was a Wednesday, laptop half closed, music playing. A few minutes later, I'm finally able to chill. I wasn't out of it. I was just out of my own head. Looking for a better sleep? They've got a gummy for that. Need to take the edge off without a hangover? Got you covered. Want something stronger? Check out their Beast Mode collection. Still legal, still tested. That's why over 50,000 customers already trust IndaCloud to keep their buzz hassle-free. If you're 21 or older, head to indacloud.co. Use code MIDAS for 30% off your first order plus free shipping. That's indacloud.co, code MIDAS, M-E-I-D-A-S for 30% off, free shipping, and less stress delivered to your door. Support the show by filling out their quick survey when you order, and thank IndaCloud for making the news cycle just a little easier to handle, and please enjoy responsibly.
Oh, like this. This may be unrelated as well. It's not unrelated. It's obvious what's happening here. I just want to let you know my sarcasm. And our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, writes, I'm still shocked that stories like this, which come out daily, get largely ignored. The most corrupt person to ever hold any public office in U.S. history. I'll keep posting them every day and try to amplify them, even when most media doesn't care. It's from the Wall Street Journal. They said, this spring, Binance took steps that catapulted the Trump family venture's new stablecoin product, enhancing its credibility and pushing its market capitalization up from $127 million to over $2.1 billion. Trump then granted the head of Binance. Binance is the name of the company. His name is Zhao. He goes by the name CZ. Trump granted CZ a presidential pardon last week, likely paving the way for the world's largest crypto trading platform to return to the U.S. from where it was banned after the company pled guilty in 2023 to violating anti-money laundering rules. At the time, the government said Zhao had caused significant harm to the United States national security by allowing sanctioned Iranian crypto exchanges, Russian drug traffickers, Hamas militants, and other criminal groups to move move billions of dollars through the exchange. The pardon marks the most distinct instance yet of Trump using the powers of the office to benefit someone at the center of the deals that have enriched his family. But if you ask Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent what's going on, he says promises made, promises kept. Wall Street's doing great, he says, and the money will trickle to the American workers next year. Next year it's going to happen. Don't you worry. Next year. Trump said day one, but he meant next year. And then next year, you know what he means? Next year. And then you know what he means? Next year. As Melanie Diarraggio says, this is what they've been saying for 40 years. They're going to just trickle it down. If they just give all of the benefits to the billionaires, basically do socialism for billionaires, they'll just trickle it down on you, and you'll be so lucky to get the little breadcrumbs from the rich people. Here, play this clip.
Because what's really happened here is the low-end consumer has gotten killed, and President Trump is promises made, promises kept on his campaign promises, and it's going to start flowing through to working Americans next year. We're going to have, Wall Street's done great, and Main Street can do great also. So I think we're going to have parallel prosperity next year.
That's wonderful to hear. And Secretary, I want to thank you so much for all of your efforts. Obviously, it is making a huge difference for the American people.
And then here, MAGA Mike just admits that Republicans are using SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, as leverage to pressure Democrats. There's a contingency fund that could be used immediately. It literally is to be used for this purpose. There's a bank account with about $6 billion sitting in it to make sure that SNAP payments go out right now. And in addition, just pass a standalone bill. But MAGA Mike, here's what he has to say. Play this clip.
The reality is that this has been a stalemate for 30 days. And it's not just Democrats. You also have one of the most conservative Republican senators, Josh Hawley, who says, at least please move money around to feed people. Why not consider that?
Because if you deviate from the goal of reopening the entire government, Chuck Schumer and the radicals over there will continue to play games with people's paychecks, their livelihoods. And if you do just part of this, it will reduce the pressure for them to do all of it, to do their basic job, and that is reopen the government. This is very real and very serious, and they can end it today. They can do it right now. All they have to do is, we just need 5 more Democrats in the Senate to help us reach the 60-vote threshold. We don't have enough Republicans to do the right thing on our own. We need them to do the right thing.
And then here, MAGA Mike supports Donald Trump restarting nuclear testing. Let's play this clip.
Just a second, but I also want to quickly talk about something that the president said, pretty remarkable, actually, that he said. He said that he instructed the Pentagon to begin testing nuclear weapons again for the first time in more than 30 years. It hasn't happened since 1992. Have you been briefed about this? Are you okay with this move?
I haven't spoken to the president in about 48 hours, so I did not know he was going to say that, but I think it is an important thing for him to have said. Why? Because we have demonstrated, even in recent days, that the only way to maintain peace is to show strength. It's peace through strength. That's one of our principles that we try to advance here every day. We learned that during the Cold War. We know it's certainly true now. America is the last great superpower in the world. We do not have a peer-to-peer adversary. China is trying to become that. But in this dynamic that we have now on the world stage, America has to show strength. And I think it is an obvious and logical thing to ensure that our weapon systems work as they're designed.
Finally, as we approach Halloween, you have the governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, basically just saying, look, to Greg Bavino and Kristi Noem, just press pause for this weekend, please, of your chemical warfare and your invasion in Chicago and the surrounding areas in Illinois. We just want our kids to be able to enjoy their Halloween. Stop attacking our children. Here, play this clip.
The Department of Homeland Security claims their highest priority is to protect children. So today I have to ask them, please live up to those ideals. I've sent a letter to Kristi Noem and to the Department of Homeland Security leadership asking them to pause all of their federal agent operations for the entirety of the Halloween weekend. I'm asking for basic human decency. I think their response will be revealing. They've disrupted everything for more than 2 months already. Give the children and the families of Illinois a break. To Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, show us This is about something other than you just causing mayhem on our streets and visiting cruelty upon our people. And after Halloween, if you want to actually go after the worst of the worst, work with our local law enforcement to help us go after violent criminals. Instead, you are targeting innocent children and families, black and brown people, U.S. citizens, hardworking parents. In essence, you are targeting all of us. It's un-American, and we cannot stand for this. I will not stand for this.
And there you have it, folks. Oh, I'll give you this piece of news as well. Stephen Miller is now living in a military bunker, basically. Military housing. A lot of these Trump regime officials are now living, I think there's 6 of them, including Kristi Noem. They don't live outside. They live in like literal military bunkers because bunker boys, bunker gals. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million. Thanks for watching.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.